Hi everybody, it's Don and I hope you're having a fantastic day. Well, Norwegian Cruise Line had their first profit since 2019, and that caused their stocks to do a little something it hasn't done in quite some time. We also have a cruise ship warning from a captain sailing on a world cruise that you don't hear very often. And then we have some really unfortunate news about the inaugural sailing of the next largest ship in the world. Yeah, it's not going to be the inaugural sailing anymore. First off, I want to take a quick minute to say I'm glad my friend Tony from La Vida Loca is doing really well. He just had a big thyroid video, taken out. I didn't want to say anything. I've been in contact with Tony during the operation, like before and after, and talking with him and chatting with him, making sure he's okay. But I didn't want to say anything until he did a video on it explaining how the whole thing went and everything. So I just wanted to say I'm glad he's doing really well. His voice is strong. And take a look at one of his videos that he just put out that explained his thyroid issue. And at the end, they show you the massive chunk that he calls it an alien, and I kind of agree, that they took out of his neck. And boy, he must just feel 10,000 times better. So I'm glad you're doing well, buddy, and I'm glad that thing's out of your neck. You look like, just your face looks so much thinner. And I bet you're breathing and eating and feeling so much better. Glad you're doing well. Okay, let's talk about Norwegian Cruise Line, and they announced this week that, you know what? We just had our first full year of profit, $269 million net, $8.5 billion in revenue. Well, that was good news. So much good news that the stock jumped 16% yesterday. 16%. Now, while Royal Caribbean stock has, recovered back to its original prices before the pandemic hit, Carnival and Norwegian are fluttering around that 50% mark. I'm still waiting for my shares to go back up to where they were because I bought low. So I want them up there before I sell, if I sell. But yeah, good news for Norwegian. And they're saying that next year, their profit looks to be way higher for 2024, which is this year, than it was even last year. So good news for Norwegian, and we can kind of see that in the bookings, right? The bookings are so full for the cruise ships. Ships are selling out, and especially this year. It's kind of crazy, but good job, Norwegian, getting that back up to seeing your stocks on the rise one more time. Now, how about an announcement? An announcement from a captain. You're on a world cruise and you're sailing out in the Indian Ocean and you're going, this is lovely. And the captain says, yeah, I normally shouldn't even really say this, but I feel it's my obligation to say this. But we have been warned from the Astronomical Society and warnings that there could be space debris falling around us in the Indian Ocean, because a satellite has re-entered atmosphere. And it takes about, the warning timetable is about 30 days long, where various parts of the cruise, the satellite can fall in the Indian Ocean. Now, it disintegrates and it becomes very small pieces and everything. But can you imagine you're out on the pool deck and you're looking up and you go, what's that? And it's a satellite coming towards you? I mean, it's straight out of a movie, but they had to give that warning out there, and he went on to say that this is not abnormal. This is what happens to satellites at the end of their life cycle. They drop them in certain areas of the ocean of the world. That's where they're scheduled to go down, and it takes a while. It's not unusual, and no cruise ship has ever been hit by a satellite. And in my mind, I'd immediately think of, yeah, but the one time it does would be the cruise that I'm on. So yeah, weird warning, a very weird warning to get from, from a captain. Watch out for space junk. Don't, it's as if there's not enough things to worry about if you're a nervous cruiser. Well, not only that, we had some bad news coming from Royal Caribbean yesterday, but before I get there, let me just invite you to hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so already. If you want to keep up to date with all things cruising, from the stock prices to the new ships launching, to vlogs, to shore excursions, to tips and tricks, to basically everything about cruising. I'll try and keep you entertained, keep it lighthearted when I can, but I'm going to tell you the honest truth because I think that's the way to go. I'm not want to be that person who is always saying everything is wonderful, because sometimes things aren't wonderful and sometimes things are bad, and you got to comment it so people know what to expect when you get on those ships. And I hope you'll join me in the journey. It doesn't cost a thing to hit the subscribe button, but boy, it really does help the channel out. And again, thank you very, very much. Okay, Royal Caribbean just announced that the next biggest cruise ship in the world, the Star of the Seas, yeah, her big inaugural sailing on August 17th of 2025. Yeah, we're looking at the work that needs to be done, and we don't think we're going to make that inaugural sailing. So they canceled that inaugural sailing, and they canceled the sailing after that as well. And now the new inaugural sailing will be August 31st, 2025. So picture that. It's still 16 to 17 months away from that initial launch, and they're already saying, yeah, we're not going to make that deadline. Now, this could be what I've been kind of complaining about inaugural sailings for a while now. This could be them saying, you know what? I think we're going to be ready on time, but let's give ourselves that extra 2 weeks to get the shows running, to get the staff running, to get everything running before we bring passengers on. And I'm really hoping that's the reason, and that it's just not, yeah, the schedule doesn't look like it's going to be done in time, and so we're going to schedule it to the last second on the 31st and we'll go then. Because then we're going to run into the exact same problems of some things not being ready while other things are, and the people on the inaugural sailing are going to get a partial cruise, if you know what I mean, partial entertainment, partially ready cruise ship. So I'm hoping that's what's going on with Royal Caribbean right now, because we just saw what happened with the brand new Sun Princess. Inaugural sailing canceled, next sailing canceled, and now people are getting on her today for the first time, and I can't wait to hear what people's first impressions are. Now, luckily, while they took possession, the crew members did get on, so hopefully they got enough time to get their shows up and running, so everything is running perfectly for that sailing today. But yeah, Icon of the Seas canceled 2 first sailings. The new inaugural sailing is on the 31st. You have choices. You can get your money back. You can switch to any other Royal Caribbean cruise, or you can even switch to the 31st inaugural cruise. There's still enough room on that ship for everybody to move over to that sailing. So you can already see that the excitement for the Star of the Seas has not reached that peak level that the Icon did when it first, because it was the first one of that design. And it sold out almost in the first couple hours. That's how everyone wanted on that ship. So they still have room on the inaugural sailing to move it over to that date. Oh, okay. Excitement died down. You can get your money back, but boy, I really hope they're doing that 2-week extra. Let's get everything up and running so people aren't complaining or disappointed when they get on that ship. Let's hope that's what they're doing. Well, I hope you appreciate this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Want to see more tips, more tricks, more travel blogs from around the world? Hit that subscribe button. Until next time, have yourself a safe and a great vacation.